Cyprus, the island of love, where the sun shines all year long, where the beaches have crystal clear waters and life seems sweet and simple, a place where, well, things might be more complicated than they seem. But if you're a newcomer, fear not, for Cyprus for Beginners is here to help you with information and shed a light on those days that might not seem so sunny and bright after all. On this series, you'll find tips and advice on starting from scratch and keeping a healthy state of mind. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cyprus for Beginners. Now that you know a little bit about the labor market in Cyprus, it's time to learn how to prepare a job application. Here are a few tips to increase your chances of getting hired.
What I see many times is people sending one standard CV to any kind of opening. That's not right. You make a CV as the basis, and then every time there is a position, every time there is an opportunity, you adjust your CV based on the opportunity, based on the opening, and based on the company. Because you have to make your possible employer, you have to make them feel special, that you took care of your CV after looking at their opening and at their company. So first tip is read the opening very well, read the announcement very well, study the company. There is so much information on the internet. Find out as much information as possible, then adjust your CV and then send it. Make the other person feel that you are applying specifically for this job and that you really want this job. Sending a cover letter when applying for a job can be a bit tricky. And what I say usually when we carry out workshops on people preparing cover letters and CVs, I usually ask the people, how much time do you think somebody spends looking at your CV? And people might say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half hour. The reality is that if the company receives 100, 200, 300 CVs, they don't have the time to spend 10 minutes on each CV. Because if you multiply 100 by 10 minutes, that's 1,000 minutes. That's a lot of time. So what usually happens is someone will spend 2 to 3 minutes on a CV. So if you will also create a cover letter, that means those 3 minutes are distributed between the cover letter and the CV. So if you will provide one, it has to be very well thought out, that it highlights in maximum 2 paragraphs what you really want the recruiter to know about you. So don't just put a cover letter that says, I saw your advertisement and I'm really interested and I believe I'm very good and so on. It has to be very specific that due to these characteristics that I have, academic, practical experience and so on, I believe I'm good for this position you have announced for these reasons. So you have to be very specific, because this is taking up time from the recruiter and they don't want to see something that you are already giving them in more detail in the CV. Generally, when you're preparing your job application, you have to pay attention to the detail. So the detail is first to study well what the opening is, then review your CV and adjust it to the opening, and then deliver something professional. Recently, the European Union, I think that was in July, they released a new platform for Europass. Europass has been a platform that the European Union has been providing for many years to create a CV. And recently they remade the platform that it sort of reminds somebody of LinkedIn, which is a platform where announcements of job openings can be made and you can find candidates. So if someone wants help in doing their CV, they can get on this platform and take a step-by-step process, and they will have a wonderful CV.
So you've sent your CV, you made a good impression, and you got your first job interview. So how to get prepared for it?
Preparing for a job interview, again, has to do with how much you know about the organization, its people, and the position. So the more you know, the better you will get prepared. That means find out as much information as you can, and perhaps not just from the internet, even from people working there. Or if you go to the social media of the company and see what parties they make, or what events they support, or what is their social responsibility. And if you have a good rounded picture of what this company is and what the position is, then you can prepare better and impress the interviewers and make yourself again stick out from everybody else. So the key to a good interview is excellent preparation, and not just with information, but also with your communication skills. So you have to prepare with regards to how you speak, what you will say, what is your body language, what messages you will give without talking. One of the most important things in the interview is the body language. So unless you can handle yourself, especially under conditions of stress, because you go there and you're also stressed. So you have to prepare yourself to show the messages that will help you get the job. We're not saying that it's easy. We already said that it's a difficult time to be looking for a job. Yet it's not impossible. So what works right now is people who are really serious about it, and they make a plan, and they have a good CV, and they have a good strategy, and they persist, and eventually they will land the job.